Howdy there, folks. This is Great Scott's back with another episode of Grand Tacticians, the Civil War 1861-1865. We have a Battle of Richmond. So here it is. CSA went a little bit too far, trying to do too much. Though I think, still have the numerical advantage in overall troop numbers, and they left me a path to move right on to Richmond. So I said, why not? We moved in, took it, so it's technically fallen. But here they are. Trying to attack back and get it. We have about 40,000 men and 150 guns. They have about 27,000 and 50 guns. So it's about a 3-to-1 artillery advantage and about a third more men. So we'll see what the battlefield looks like here. I'm not exactly sure what the map is going to be. I don't know that I've fought too many battles near Richmond because I've usually done it as the CSA and I've kept the Union away. So I'm not sure what we're going to see in terms of a map, in terms of victory points, whether I have to attack or defend. Given the AI's improved ability to at least deploy into cover, this could be harder. I mean, this looks like a not fairly open battlefield. We are instructed to defend, and it looks like we have Old Cold Harbor as a victory point, and Gaines is the other. And it looks like they're going to come in. I mean, we're coming from the west, so that bottom left corner would make sense. And, all right, so the kind of swampy area makes the river look a lot wider until you really... Okay, that's what we're dealing with there. We can deploy all the way out to Gaines, so I think I will. We got 21 engineering points. That's quite a bit. And let's see. These are the heights here. So I think we're going to deploy up here, probably on this ridge. But I guess I would suspect them. They tend to follow fairly linear paths, which I guess would bring them up this way. Alternatively, they could come around this way. So I think we'll deploy on that ridge, and yeah, I'll bring it back in if there's something, some action going on. And we are off here. Things have not gone super well at the outset. I thought that this would be relatively easy. It has not been. So the armies pretty much started right on top of each other, even closer than I thought they would. They did. This cav unit got broken. I think it got hit with a few rounds of enemy artillery, and they did not enjoy that at all. And so they routed, managed to stop them for the time being. The other cav unit we called back, but they just didn't quite react as fast as I'd hoped. Over here we have a full enemy brigade that's kind of gotten itself up. We've lost a bunch of skirmisher units so far. That's to be expected. We're kind of okay with losing skirmisher units if the payoff is that we can break the brigade in the end. Considering we have the numerical advantage, we have an artillery advantage, we have the victory points, we're already ahead on advantage. I'm really just kind of waiting for them to come up. We have Statham's infantry over here. They're trying to fortify, get a bunch of breastworks built in and around this point from this kind of pond at the end of this. Well, I guess it's not a... yeah, I guess it's kind of in the stream. Whatever it is, we're trying to fortify from here through the church all the way down to my relatively built up. These are like level 2, level 3 parapets. And the artillery that's waiting there. A little bit of infantry as reinforcement. This is the other cav unit because things got a bit cramped down here. I wasn't seeing necessarily a great way forward. I just brought them back as kind of sweepers. I've also thought that maybe if we can get the cav far enough around, we might be able to get into their artillery. But I think the initial shock of losing 1 out of the 4 cavalry brigades led me to be pretty cautious. So yeah, this is one of the things I don't quite understand. So their status is routed, the morale is unstable. Yet everything else is actually pretty good for them. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that. I don't know if bringing up this other cav unit will strengthen them by giving them the kind of flank secure bonus or whatever it's called exactly. I don't remember, but Anyways, that's how things have shaped up. Again, I'm constructing. It looks like most of them are going to push up through this field, which is not terrible, but we do have some fortifications waiting for them if and when they do, and if they try to flank around, that'd be a long flank around. We'll have some breastworks ready for them. I'm not sure that these breastworks are all that important, but I didn't want to build up too much in front of the artillery because I wanted that to kind of do its thing. So I wanted the infantry to hold the flanks and the artillery to kind of hold the center. Might be the opposite of what some may view as a better way to do it, or it doesn't matter. It's what I'm doing, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll keep throwing skirmishers in here until they. I don't know if they can counter skirmish because we've closed so much distance, but we'll keep throwing them in anyways. And a lot of this is probably going to be wait and see. This brigade has held up quite well, all things considered. I have noticed, you probably see it too, that a lot of my units are exhausted, very tired and all that stuff, and they really haven't moved that much. So I'm not sure why that is, but I can say that it is, and that might explain in part why we're breaking, and that there are just more men in the line shooting than there are skirmishers shooting back. Well, in total, if all my skirmishers shoot up at the same time, that wouldn't be true, but probably in most of these engagements that is true. And yeah, for some reason they're getting exhausted. I mean, they're marching on the roads, and it hasn't been that long. And I know that I believe both those armies have engaged in at least one combat. Okay, so here it was probably more of a coincidence than anything, but when this other cav unit did come up, this unit became controllable. So we're going to gradually walk these back, mostly to save the one cav unit that's already broken once. I don't know what it would do again. If they need to, they could come down this road and hit them in the flank, but I really don't think we're going to expose them to that if we can avoid it. And yeah, my fortifications are going up. Man, just the range on that Springfield rifled musket is so much better than when you look at the Enfield. I thought they had both 400 yard range. It just maybe that is the same and it just looks different. Could be an optical delusion. I don't know. The overall, okay, the overall HQ is up there. That's fine. Okay, it's there. I don't think this artillery is going to get to do much. Where it is. They're going back there. They're going there. I think we need to start moving these. Move that battery up. We'll do the same with them. Looks like it's gonna obscure a lot, but the artillery's not doing anything right now, so possibly being obscured is just something we'll have to worry about when the time comes. Here they're leading with the artillery. An army after my own heart. So I guess maybe they'll get a bunch of morale back just with time. And while they're plugging their artillery up this hill, probably shouldn't let that go unanswered. Move them up. Did I not click the right button here? It looks like they were preparing to do something I didn't want them to do. Alright, we'll get them over there like that. I don't want to build up too far in front of my artillery because I want my artillery to actually be able to defend the infantry. Wonder why they couldn't do that. Alright, I think we broke that brigade. That's what it looks like. Which is huge. I mean, that was the payoff I was hoping for by losing all those skirmishers. Okay. These guys are determined to press on this flank. I mean, they're kind of all spread out now. It shouldn't be a problem for my cavalry. It should be fast enough to get away from them. Okay. So they are getting their morale back a bit. I don't really see the purpose of skirmishing. They're skirmishers. I do see a purpose in skirmishing with their cavalry and their artillery, especially their artillery. Which wants to shoot, usually at long range, at tight-packed infantry, and does not want to be doing this. So if they're really going to come that way, I don't know if they're going to make it. Maybe we'll also get... Come on. We'll get that going on. And... Come on. There we go. And that. And I'm also wondering about... Maybe get some artillery up on this hill here. Alright, we got those fortifications up, that's fine. Move these guys into a more useful position. Sure, go there. It's what those guys are up to. And we'll have them there. I don't think we're going to catch that cavalry. Looks like it's the... Well, you know, the marker indicates that it's just regular old cavalry, but it is moving. Like, it might be horse-drawn, but I guess it isn't. Alright. Do we have any horse-drawn? Yeah, we do. Oh, I thought 6-pound field gun is not Not the best weapon in the old arsenal here, but I thought these breastworks were finished, but now they don't appear to be so. I don't know why there's no longer the option by holding left alt you can finish breastworks. They did not look full at all. Alright. Their skirmishers can get pulled back. And we'll pull these guys all back. This is very odd terrain. I mean, we are on the high ground, but the way the hills undulate and the trees kind of come out of nowhere, and it looks like they're not even gonna ever kind of fall in range of those guns. So rather than waiting for things that aren't likely ever to occur, we'll move these folks up into hopefully more useful positions. Maybe maybe swing that other battery out here, because this looks like it might actually be a pretty important position. Alright, we'll get them there. I guess that's probably the best spot for that artillery command. Let's be able to see what's going on here. Let's see if these skirmishers can pile through here. And there. And operate at long range. Yeah. What's wrong with this set of breastworks? Why we can't get a bonus from using them? There we go. Finish that. I'm amazed those guys are still fatigued. Let's go up and test them. Might need more support there. They're firing, but these guys are not. Kinda wonder what my fortunes are gonna be if I try to move them up. Guess their artillery doesn't want that. Like I said, cab there. I did not see that cab until the very last moment there. This guy's going around like that. Alright, this is my unit. That was beat up before. Alright, 71 looks like the best they're going to do. So a little bit of risky business here, but let's go for it. Move that HQ. Okay, they're doing whatever they're doing there. These skirmishers in the mix. Oh. Huh. So they can get there. We'll see how that goes. Try to put a lot on their plate. I'm trying to draw them into the center there where the artillery is, but they're not really biting so far on that invitation. So we'll see. Cav is doing their. show you in just a second when we load back in. I think Colonel Day was maybe one of the cavalry brigade commanders. I'm not sure if they broke twice or what. It should have really been whoever was the division commander. Excuse me. Narrow victory. 3,200 rifles and 15 guns. All right. Yeah, so that is that. That, like I said, is probably the best part. Patterson's force out here, well, they're at least getting a fort up and they're getting their numbers back up. As you can see, I abandoned, quote-unquote, West Virginia. The other kind of interesting stuff is we have Harney's Department of the West here with about 20,000 and 100 guns. We have McClellan here, who is unstable for reasons I don't quite understand. Weekly influence. So I guess it was because they were out of supplies. I mean, they're very much back in the supplies, but you know, I should learn my lesson and save. All right. So they have good numbers, right? 25,000 and 70 guns, and certainly against the Army of the Tennessee, seem like have almost 2-to-1 advantage in both guns and men. But I'm worried about that morale. They have not fought. I think they've only been in one battle, and it was against the Army of the Tennessee. But if I can push off the Army of the Tennessee, and for whatever reason, Missouri State Guard has decided to make it stand in Covington, but that allows McClellan to push against the Army of Tennessee. If he beats it, he then comes up from the south while Harney holds over here, and I like my chances if that's what happens. Having said that, I haven't seen any other armies west of this kind of Cincinnati, Covington, Lexington, Louisville area. We've all kind of converged there. There's not much going on in the south. I did realize, with all the time I've spent in this game, there's still a lot I'm not really paying attention, that this whole ships and harbor thing is also drag and drop. I didn't recruit these ships, and I think you can drag up to a certain amount. Not sure if any of that is actually true, but that's what I assume. You can kind of see when you click on a Walter, which up here there's this yellowish icon. All right, so I think that actually made it work when I dropped it right on. So it kind of turns that burnt orange, and then you'll add it. Since they're just ships and harbor, I kind of figure, like, why not add them to these other squadrons? I haven't paid much attention ever to the Navy, and so I hope I'm not mixing things that ought not be in the same class, but I'm pretty sure this is all blue water possible. Again, it's what I'm assuming. And so if they end up in deep waters, it should be fine. If it's just littoral stuff, that's fine as well. But yeah, I'm gonna try to buff up some of those under strength fleets, especially. I guess I should especially do the Gulf blockading squadron, because they are kind of on their own down here, whereas there are 3 fleets really close to each other on the east. But anyways, that's progress here. Finances are not fantastic, haven't been. We've been looking at an interest rate around 9% or so. Good news is that 36-month contracts are going to be up very shortly, and I haven't really recruited that much. And then I'm going to go with military 2. The last time I checked for overall numbers of recruits, it was much higher than I thought. And okay, that's not it. It's been happening a little bit recently. So if we just try to recruit anything, yeah, we're up to 150,000, basically doubled from what it was previously. And yeah, so once the 36-month contracts come up, I think I'm going to undertake a little bit of recruiting, but I'm pretty certain that the weapon choices for the time being are going to be limited. So we got a few Springfield rifle muskets. I did buy them out. I was hoping to create a little bit of demand. Reboard muskets are production only as well, so I'm trying to do the ones that are production only, but still decent quality. I don't know where my Enfields went. I had about 10 Enfields left, and I don't see them available. So for right now, that would be Springfield rifle muskets and the reboard muskets. And when it comes to artillery, we actually had, let's see, okay, we got Parrots now. We don't have any Napoleons here, but still, it's okay. It's good enough, and we'll do that with the guys we're going to have long term. Although, I made a mistake in the previous video here. We can play through here. I assumed, okay, it turned out to be wrong, that when the contracts were up, like, they were up, Duval was one of them, and instead it renewed to a 12-month contract after the 3 months was up. I remember that, especially in McDowell's army, because Sherman is here. And I was like, oh, you know, I'm about to lose Sherman. Oh, you know, I'll get him back in a different one. But the numbers went down, but then they came back up again. And so I think they're drawing from the volunteer pool, I believe. And I think that still triggered when 12-month contracts were the longest ones. So I'll see what renews later on for those who are on 12-month contracts when they're up, to see if they actually disappear or what happens. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a long one. Hopefully it was worth it, and hope to have you back for the next one.